speculation. You can argue that, but honestly, the way he seems to be handling this, and we don't know a plan, and that's fair. But boy, you're right sizing the ship. You see, even the legacy business cutting costs, trying to stabilize some cash flows. Just try to stabilize that legacy business. But now it's all about the transformation, and that cash pile is growing. It seems to be growing. Will they raise more money? We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I see it, but I think if you just change one factor, and that's that you don't think Ryan Cohen is a doofus, all right? If you don't think he's a doofus and he's not a fool, if you don't think that, and all of a sudden, suddenly they're sitting on billions of dollars in cash, right? And you actually think not only is he not a doofus, but he's extremely talented in that he has the capability to turn this around. Even if you don't agree with that, right? Even if you don't believe it, that's fine. If you just pause for a moment and think about that, I think it really changes your mindset, and that becomes the bet. And I don't know. It's going to be a debate. But as time passes, you'll see more. That's the thing. I think some people say, "Oh, a lot of time has passed. We ain't seen shit," and that's fair too. But again, I think because of the uniqueness of the situation, I think generally in this type of case, being quiet, working on stuff behind the scenes. And thinking about what you're going to do could be a good approach. That's not the end all be all, right? We'll see where it goes from there, but it's a good starting point. And I personally don't think 3 years is too long in this case. 5 years, 10 years, all right. Like if we all wait in 5 years, 10 years, and it's like, all right, we're going to be going into the pet rock business. Come on, reserve the right to change your mind, just like I do. That's how you should approach this. But in this case, right, the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. And it seems like people are quick to be like, oh, well, they haven't announced anything. The legacy business is struggling. Therefore, it's over. You know what I mean? I think that's just kind of silly just because I think it could be, it's just not proof of anything. Now, again, they start selling some pet rocks, all right, okay, let's revisit this. But right now, there's some uncertainty about it, and it becomes a bet on the management. And you'll see that this is a thing in financial markets. It's unusual that it's a public company, but if you're dealing with like a venture capital opportunity or a startup company, this is often how it works, where you may have an idea, or you might have a management team that you believe on, and that tends to be what you'll focus on. And do they seem like they have the right skill set to pull it off? That's the focus. I mean, that's what I mean. This is not unusual in financial markets generally. What might be unusual is that this is a public company, right? In that you have non-institutional investors. You have non-institutional investors who are like making the case for it. That's highly unusual, but it's not unusual in financial markets. It's a little bit different this time around, and so it's just an ongoing argument, discussion, and you won't really. No one knows for sure. I mean, especially me, right? You don't follow anything I do. You see all my disclaimers and stuff. Same thing. None of this is advice. I have an aggressive style, blah, blah, blah. You know that stuff. But when you're dealing with these types of opportunities, right? I say it's unusual, but in financial, when you deal in these types of opportunities, you could lose it all. You could lose everything. They're highly speculative in nature. You should know that. These are very risky opportunities. And they are risky because there could be tremendous upside if it works out. But that's the balance. And that's why in those types of opportunities that I'm talking about, that's the trade-off. Big potential opportunities, or you could lose it all. And you kind of factor that into your analysis. And so it's the same thing here. So it becomes kind of a bet on the team. And from what I've seen so far, I think I reserve the right to change my mind, as you should too. I'm a believer right now. Let's see though. 3 years. Let's see what happens from here. But I think with a significant amount of capital, I don't know. I think let's see where it goes from here. But that's kind of a reiteration of a lot of stuff I said in my last stream. There was two parts of the thesis. Then this part of the thesis, if you remember, I ascribed at the time. I'm like, well, we can't even discuss this. It was like the bottom of that Word document that I had. I was like, well, let's discuss this when it comes. Well, it came. That kind of first part worked out, and now it's a discussion about this other stuff. So, I mean, I'm probably, you know me, I'm rambling now at this point. I'm probably, well, let me pour that stuff. But that's, I'm just reminding y'all that, like that's let's see where it goes from here. But hold on, did I pour? All right, you can't pour it all. Can I get that? What's a drink? My buddy hooked me up. My buddy hooked me up with that. What's a drinking strategy, baby? What's your drinking strategy? Clearly. I mean, look at